Don't be fooled by the moon. Don't be fooled. Witness, witness, and this business is none of yours, but it goes. Who you are, never falling down to the lonely star, the only star in this whole crowd. Pour me another glass, and all my time, countless hours, countless days. All my time thinking about you, and all my time. You're the only thing that matters in my world, more than all of the riches and gold and the diamonds and pearls.
Well, I started singing at a very young age in the church choir. I really didn't. I had an ear for music and I definitely grew up around it, but I never really knew my full potential. So that was my first time actually singing. Then I began to sing more and more in front of larger crowds. And now I just have been singing and writing ever since. It definitely started at a very young age. And I was very pleased with what I heard. And the more I practiced, the better I became. I grew up listening to R&B and soul, Donnell Jones, John B., Carl Thomas, Maxwell, Joe. Those are the artists I grew up listening to. When I got older and started writing my own, I started listening to more of the songwriters, Janet, Hall & Oates, Fleetwood Mac, bands, more bands and more actual artists who storytell. And it just grew from there. It's my story. Everybody has similar situations, but not the same story. And my music and the way that I envision it going and the whole process is totally a different route than other artists would take. Because it's the one thing that I love. It brings me joy and it really is a way for me to get out my emotions and express myself. When I create music to them and make them into a song, repeating it will help me through it. I want my listeners to be able to reflect on things that they went through in their lives and to also know that they're not the only ones. And I want them to feel the raw passion and the raw emotion that is put into it. You know, I'm not just singing these words off a page. I'm trying to bring them to life, and I want the lives of the listeners to be impacted by what I sing and what I write. The lyrical content is very deep and very dark and filled with a lot of different emotions, but the music itself is to uplift. So I feel like my music is more of a I feel like my music is more popular. It's popular for people to groove to, but the lyrics, if you listen to the lyrics, they're very deep and very sincere. Everybody, and that's the simple thing to say. I really don't have an audience that I'm targeting. I just want to target people who feel the same way. And if an 8-year-old and an 80-year-old feel the same way of how I feel, that's my target. 5 years from now, I see my music evolving. I see it being more revolutionary. I want to storytell. I want to be able to have each project elaborate on the last project and go a little deeper to the core of the story that I'm trying to tell. In 5 years, I see my music being on a whole nother level, long story short. This album is definitely about love. It's about the good about love, the bad about love, the letdowns, and the memories of love treating me right and treating me wrong, treating others right and wrong. And it's also a little bit of uplifting going on as well, loving yourself for the evolution of music as a whole. I really feel that it has great elements of the past, the present, and the future. And all of that is still incorporated into the now. And I feel like that is something that's precious and special.
I know I could do better. I know that I already